But I think once Golovkin zeroes in, it's not going to be a long fight.
Do you think we can draw a comparison to a guy like Kovalev, who kind of like Triple G, couldn't get the big fights because nobody wanted to fight him, and then he was able to get Bernard Hopkins, and that moved him up another level, where Triple G has had to do it more with quantity versus quality. Do you think he'll get a shot like that, and that'll be the one that takes him up to the next level?
First of all, Kovalev fought a great fight the other night, and Kovalev used to be one of my fighters. He was with me for 8 fights, 8 knockouts, and unfortunately for Hopkins, he fought a kid that was young, hungry, and very skilled, strong puncher. But Kovalev is not on the same level as Golovkin, so it was easier for them to accept that kind of fight. Unfortunately for Golovkin, he looks more accomplished and more deadly in the ring, so it's going to be difficult for us to get that significant fight or signature fight. But just got to stay busy, and that fight will come.
But Hopkins even mentioned maybe even going down to fight Golovkin.
Well,
I hope, meet him halfway or something.
I hope that he was serious, because then Golovkin will prove his mettle and will prove how great a fighter he really is.
Now, the Golovkin Mexican style has been a huge success. StubHub was rocking. How was that? Tell us a little bit about that, Abel.
Well, from the beginning, when I first got Golovkin, I showed him a tape of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Edwin Rosario. And I asked him to give me 3 years, and I promised him that if he did, I would convert him into a Chavez, except that he'd be deadly with it because he's got heavy hands. He'd be knocking guys out. And I think we're close to mimicking Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.'s style in the ring. So I'm glad it's caught on. I mean, as a fight fan, I'm a fight fan too. And as a fight fan, that's the kind of fight I want to see. I want to see guys in there trying to fight instead of trying to dance.
Now, boxing heads say Abel Sanchez is the brain behind Mexican style. Is that true?
Well, for this particular fighter, yes. Like I said, I have no qualms about saying that I want that style for my fighters. I think that we owe the public, we have a responsibility to the public to make sure that we entertain them.
Absolutely. Now, his style is entertaining, and the fact that he's learning Spanish, the fans love that even more.
Yeah, we have a couple young men in the gym with him, so that they practice the Spanish. That Spanish that he spoke was not all mine. That was Joel Diaz Jr. Working with him, and because that's Joel Diaz Jr. is like his protege. He really likes the kid, and they help each other a lot. And Joel's helping him with the Spanish.
Okay, and with Triple G, how frustrating is it? Because it seems like all the big names in his division already have matchups lined up. Like with Kid Chocolate in the Heyman world, maybe with his guys, and with Cotto Canelo possibly going down. Is there any frustration, like seeing that you might have to wait a while to get one of those big names in the ring?
No, it would be frustrating if we weren't fighting. But he's only been on a HBO market since September the 1st of 2010. Sorry, 2012. So it's only 2 years. So, but I think what needs to happen is you fellas need to ask those questions of the guys that are not going to fight us. Why aren't they not fighting us? We've made offers to everybody. And the guys that either when Golovkin name gets mentioned, they're busy, the person's not enough, or Al Heyman want to prove it, or there's all kinds of excuses. So I think you fellas need to ask those questions of them and find out why it isn't that they don't want to fight them.
Okay. Besides the Mexican style, you know that the Hispanic fans are the biggest fans, especially in the United States. Was that part of your idea too? He's kind of like an adopted Mexican now in Southern California.
No, not really. Not really. Because what I wanted was to be entertained. Me as a fight fan, I want to be entertained. And if the Mexican style was going to catch on and he was going to get these Mexican fans and fans in general, great. But the idea was to entertain. The idea was to make sure that people wanted to come back and see him.
At one point, Triple G just wanted to fight, so he made himself available from 154 to 168. Recently, he's made it clear that he wants to clean out 160 before he thinks about moving.
Well, the only reason he would go down to 154 is for Floyd.
Nice.
There's no other reason to go down to 154. And 168, there's Chavez, there's Froch. I think Andre's in the middle of some turmoil right now with his promoters, and there's difficulties trying to make that fight. But Chavez, Froch, DeGale, any of those guys at 168 will be fine.
Okay, and that segues to something I wanted to ask you about. Some of the Triple G detractors, a lot of them are saying, oh, he should move up, he should go fight Andre Ward, which really doesn't make sense because you got big name, big money fighters in his own division. So what would y'all say to those kind of fans? Because it seems to be a crowd out there that's saying he should go up and fight Andre Ward right now, even though he's in litigation.
Well, why wasn't that question asked of Andre Ward when he cleaned out the 168-pound division?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Why wasn't that question asked? Why doesn't he move up to fight Kovalev? I mean, Golovkin hasn't had that signature fight at 160. And Second of all, Ward's got problems with his promoter right now. Ward's got issues. Third, he's not a pay-per-view fighter. Golovkin, if he moves up to 68 or down to 54, he wants to fight a pay-per-view fight. Ward is not a pay-per-view fighter.
Okay, my last question. Seeing that he was kind of a guy that was being avoided, now that he's gaining a lot of steam and a lot of prestige, with selling tickets and doing high ratings, do you think it makes it that much more impossible to avoid somebody like Triple G?
No, because I think that now HBO behind him financially with a bigger budget will attract some of those fighters. The problem is some of the fighters are now with a different group that is not working along. Now that Oscar and Top Rank and all those fellas are working together, it makes it easier, but there's another group that's keeping their middleweights away. I don't know what their plans are, but as long as we keep Triple G busy, as long as he keeps winning, those fights are going to come.
Okay. Any final words for the boxing fans, the boxing heads out there?
I appreciate all the support. GGG thanks you, and we look forward to entertaining you some more.
Mexican style.
Mexican style. Thank you.
Sir.